It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Christmas, everywhere you go.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla.
I'm Zera. Most of you know me as Epicurious Diaries, and this is a very special episode. First of all, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! You guys, you made it till 25th or till December, whatever time this episode comes out, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I hope that you've been enjoying the songs and the love.
The Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey season is here. So for this episode, this is a very, very special episode. We're going to be answering a question that you guys have been asking us so many times. This is our Christmas gift to you.
I know.
So from In This Season with Love.
To you. Ding, 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 ding.
Today's episode, we're going to share with you how we met our partners.
Yes.
And some of the special things we're going to do differently this year now that we are booed up.
I know. All loved up.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Priscilla.
Oh my gosh.
How did you meet this special man that swept you off your feet and you're now
I feel like I'm already laughing. Like I'm smiling and my jaws are going to hurt. I know the number of times people have asked me, "How did you meet? When are you sharing the story? When are you telling us, guys?" Today is the day. So how did I meet my partner? We met through a mutual friend.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine who knows another friend of his, and we were both living our lives. I was living my best life. I wasn't even thinking about being partnered. Like I was at that point in my life when I had made peace with the fact that, you know what, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I may get partnered up later and it's okay. Like I really, really went through the process. Like, do I really want kids? What are my options? Is it like, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. Mm-hmm. If he does come, when he does come, and if it's later on, I'll enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. So one of my friends reaches out to me and says, oh, by the way, I really would like you to meet someone. And then I'm like, been there, done that. I did not think I have the energy for another heartbreak, as when Akemi would say.
Yeah. One more heartbreak
left and I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm done. But then I hadn't dated a Ugandan man in a very long time. And my other experience with a Ugandan guy, it was a bit, you know, so I was like, I'm done.
What was it? Did you feel like why were you squirmish about?
I was squirmish because I had met guys, and when you tell them you don't live around or you don't intend to, you know, be resident here, most of them would be like, no, but you know, I want a wife. So the idea is that you'd come and be like the wife, the traditional
and
wife.
give up your entire life.
Yeah, or maybe try to look for a job in Uganda and stuff like that. And that wasn't really something I was considering to do at that time in my life. Mm-hmm. So I was like, do I really have the energy to go through explaining to someone, you know, this is me, and this is what I do, my career is quite important, and like, and then also there's another bit of I'm waiting till we get married before. Yeah. So like, it also brings another, so I'm like, you know what, I've been there, and then in time,
so you were not very keen.
I wasn't very keen, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But my friend, I trust my friend, she already, you know, so she's like, you know what, this is an amazing guy. Talk to him, he's mature, he's different from that riffraffs you've been meeting. Sorry, except, but
not sorry.
So anyway, he also on the other side, he also wasn't feeling like he also was in the same space. Mm-hmm. He wasn't looking to date. He was quite comfortable. He was living his best life. So he calls me. He texts me actually on WhatsApp. So my friend we exchange our numbers. I used to it on guys before. I used to slide in DMs. I'm like, I'm not doing that. No. Yeah. So if he wants me, he will text me. So then like after an hour, he texts me. Now when we meet and we are talking about the story, I understand now he texts me through what was in his mind. Mm-hmm. It was one of the busiest seasons of his career. He was working like crazy. So and then his friend was telling him, have you texted her? She's like, you know, she's amazing. You would like her. Mm-hmm. Then he's like, but what is it? Like, what are you guys saying? I would like her. And then when he checked me out like on LinkedIn and stuff, I was like, what? Feminist?
Yeah.
You know, so he was like, he has no problem being with feminists, but some of the feminists, I think, in his past it was a bit weird. Yeah. So
and sometimes feminists present a certain kind of challenge that people might not necessarily be willing
to. So he was like, I don't mind someone who's, you know, in that space, but, you know, he was he was a bit hesitant.
Not keen.
Anyway, so he texts me, we start chatting, he calls me like, when can I call you? And then I say, you can call me at 4:45 after work. I forget about him. He calls me and I miss his call. Then he says he was so happy. He was like, yay! Done. Ticked it off. No one can disturb me. I didn't call. So, and then I called him back. And I said, oh my God, I'm really sorry. I missed your call. Actually, I went to the gym and I lost track of time. And he said that for him, that was like such a positive vibe of like someone who owns up and was apologetic for, because taking his time for granted. So we talked. Let me tell you, we talked for 2 hours. Like, we didn't even notice until he says, you know what, I need to go do some stuff, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what? I checked my time. It had been 2 hours on a call. A man I've not seen. I'd seen his pictures, but like not properly video call pictures, are deceptive.
Different,
So I called my friend and like, you know what, babe? I think I'm being vibed and I think I'm enjoying it.
I remember you posting that on Instagram.
Someone
like saying sweet nothings to me and I think I like it.
Exactly. And I remember we did, I think shortly after we did a live together and then he was calling and he's like, oh my God, I think someone is calling me, So there was a bit of an excitement about him. But also I think I had been in that space where I had had so many of these exciting situations with men.
And then they don't
turn into anything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not going to think much about it. So even I didn't tell anyone, even most of my friends thought I did it in secret. But it was because you've told so many people, oh, I think I met someone. It doesn't end into anything.
And then you said, never mind.
Never mind.
It didn't work out.
Exactly. So I was like, ugh. But anyway, so that's how we met. And we just never stopped talking.
The rest was history.
And I remember the time I asked him, when did you know that I had fallen for you? Because he was like, the time I called him, we talked for 5 hours. And it did not seem like 5 hours. And we talked and talked and talked till he drove home. We just went about, and before I knew it, it was 5 hours. And I was like, wow, this actually does happen to grown adults like us, So we were both in shock that at our big age, we can still feel so strongly. Because I think I was at a point where I'm like, you know what? I'll meet a good guy. He'll be okay. He'll be good. I'll probably make it work. Maybe I'll just marry him for kids. Maybe not. Like I was at a point where I was thinking.
So it caught you by surprise.
It really caught me by surprise. Okay. That's why I say he was a plot twist.
Aww. Yeah,
he was a plot twist. That's
so
how we met.
I hope that anyone out there who, it happens at 35, 45, 55, 65. It's
but also I think, and I was telling him that the reason why I was able to even be receptive of his attention was I was willing to do something different. Because I was always he is not. He is kind, he's gentle, he's a gentleman. At some point in my life, I used to gravitate towards men who are going to make you chase them. Men who are going to literally, you begging for their love, unavailable partners. So he was a very different kind of man, a man who's available. He wants you, he's intentional. I was like, wait, these people still exist?
I get you. That's really, really
lovely. It is. Love you, babe. I know he's watching.
Hi, Priscilla's babe. Okay.
So, Zeri, we have all seen the welcoming committee. He's making our people look very bad because he's whipping up dishes. He's just really doing the most.
In my defense, he makes me look bad also, but we move.
So, and I'm sure the girlies are crazy. They want to know, how did you meet?
So, I've told you this. We have 2 versions of how we met, right? So I'm going to start with the first one, which is how we actually met. We met online. We had our first conversations on the internet. So we started to talk, and we just went back and forth. And for me, the moment when I was like,
this could be something,
was he sent me a voice note. And he just spoke so eloquently, and I was like,
On Zungla International.
So my responses got faster. There's a lot of riffraff on these streets.
Who write, I don't know in IDK.
Girl, at least, what about the ones who write, how are you? And they write HW space A space U. what are you doing with all the time you are saving?
At this my big age.
Yeah. So he wrote full.
Oh,
first of all,
that's
he
nice.
wrote full
Proper
words,
English.
yes, and then he quickly jumped into voice notes. So
Yeah.
it got personal
Yeah,
quite
quite
quickly. Yeah,
quickly.
so I could hear him, whatever. And then I went offline because I had a school event that day. And he thought that I had ghosted, right? But
Trauma
then,
response.
Yes, I was off for a few hours, and then I came back online and told him, oh, I was at this and this. I was at a school event. We had sports day, this and that, and then we carried on the conversation, right? And then later on, because we started talking in the morning, maybe around 9 a.m., and then this carried on. So in the evening, he says, "Can I have your number?" Right? And I was
feeling
like,
the vibes.
Yeah, I think the vibes were flowing. But you know, again, having done this so many times before, you're just like not very
keen.
Yes. Also, guys can be creeps sometimes. Yeah. So I didn't want to share my number, and I said, but this is fine. We can do this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, let's just have a call. If you don't like it, we don't have to
continue
call
chatting,
again or whatever. And I was like, respectful of
I
boundaries.
know, yeah, exactly.
Nice, right? So I had this quick conversation with myself in that moment. I was like, what's the worst that could happen?
You block him.
Yeah, I can block. I can, just not answer the phone, whatever. So I gave him my number. He called immediately, and we spoke. We stayed on the phone for 2 hours.
Let me tell you, that's a sign. Like when you enjoy someone's company without, because like most
I've
times,
never met you.
exactly, you don't, and you're not even
talking.
doing, like when you're doing an activity, it can distract both of you, and you think you're enjoying each other's company. But when you're just you and him, and you're enjoying each other's company, that's really a great flag.
It was amazing. So we spoke, and we got into, like, our conversation was so deep, right? Like, it wasn't fluffy. You know how fluff. How you can talk about what's your favorite color. Guys, I had said so many times that I hope I never, ever have to go through that conversation ever again in my life. And I can tell you for a fact that
you didn't have to.
I've never told him my favorite color.
Because, of what benefit is it again
Come
in the
on,
grand
guys.
scheme of things?
Or favorite food, or any of that, that small talk. Yeah, so we got deep into our conversation.
Quite
was
quick.
very deep.
Yeah.
He was very open and also interested. It was a mixture of, he was open to sharing a lot of things, and he was also very interested. So the conversation, it was like you were talking
flowing.
to a friend.
Yeah, which is nice.
Right? And then at the end of the conversation, he said, "Can I take you to dinner?" Yeah, he was like, "Can I take you to dinner?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." But I was thinking sometime.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, "What are you doing tomorrow? Is it too soon?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "No, actually, it would be nice." In my mind, this is now in that microsecond, I was thinking to myself, let's just meet. If the vibes are not vibing,
we move.
It's fine. Right? And I said, actually, I have a plan with a friend. I was supposed to do drinks with Fiona Kemi. And so I said, but after that, I can, meet you. And then he says, "Where would you like to go?" And I said, "No, you can choose." And then he said Divino. I was like, and he has taste too.
I know.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah. And so, so the next day we went out to dinner.
Yeah.
I was nervous, obviously, because, at this big age, you've been on many first dates and whatever.
But also maybe you low-key liked him.
Well, it was too early to tell. I was just open.
Open, okay.
Yeah,
Or
I was
excited
just
about
open.
the idea.
I wasn't even excited. It was more, he seems like a nice guy, let's see. Yeah, I had no expectations, nothing.
Yeah.
And so we get to dinner. I was late. Yeah, I was late, but the reason why I was late is because he changed the time.
Ah, okay.
I think he was at an earlier thing, and then he changed the time. So when he took, me, when you change the time, you've thrown me off.
I know.
And so I got there, and I was late, and I was dying to pee.
Ah!
So I got to the table, said hi. I am the one.
Yeah.
But I also need to pee. Excuse me. So I ran to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Then I came back and sat down. And then we started to talk. We talked. We had a really nice conversation. We went our separate ways. And then after that, I was just like, he's very different from anybody I have ever dated.
Yeah.
Right? And that was a bit scary for me.
Yeah. Because, usually usually we gravitate towards the same patterns.
Yes.
It's familiar.
Yeah. So he was very, in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
He's nothing like anybody I have ever dated ever. And so that was a little bit scary for me. And he also said something that sort of stopped me right in my steps. He said he has no friends. I said, what kind of person is this? What kind of person is this that has no friends, right?
Yeah.
And
Red flag.
This for me, ordinarily it wouldn't be a red flag because I'd be thinking, I will have him all to myself.
Yeah.
You know, but from previous experience of having previously married somebody who had no friends, I was like, I know how this goes.
I know.
No.
Right?
Yes. So I was like, So I remember because I had seen Fiona earlier, she messaged me the next morning and said, how was your date? And I was like, my date was actually amazing. It was a great first date.
Yeah.
Amazing first date. Maybe top 5, one of, top 5 dates I've been on, first dates. But I was like, but he's very different from anyone. And she said, girl, different is good.
It is good. It is
different
good.
Is good. And I'm like, I know that, but I didn't want to tell her that he has no friends because she was also going to be like, So then she was like, but different is good.
Yeah.
Different is good. And then she added, what has your type ever done for you?
Thank you. Thank you.
Babe, you have
me,
Fiona to
I
thank
only
for
date
a lot
people
of
like
things.
this. About what have they done?
Yeah. So she was like, what has your type
Exactly.
ever done for you? And I was like, actually, what has your type ever done for you? Meanwhile, the whole time he was very communicative. He's sharing all these things and, we were talking back and forth and everything was fantastic. I was still a little bit hesitant because of the no friends thing, but So he asked me out on a second date.
Yeah.
So we went out first date Saturday. He asked me out for another date on Tuesday, which I went to. We talked, we had a conversation. He cleared up the no friends
Exactly.
bit.
I was looking forward to hearing what.
Yeah, he cleared up the no friends bit.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask anything, just in his conversation.
Yeah,
he
could tell.
Yeah, and and I was like, oh, okay.
I know. A girl can catch a breath.
But also, he was just, those people that you just want to see again.
That's nice.
Yeah. So after our date on Tuesday, he asked me for another date on Thursday. So we went to Le Chateau.
A man with class.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't many dates in when he just said, look,
I'm ready.
Yeah, I like you a lot. You're an amazing woman. This and this is what I like about you. Whatever. And yeah, I'm not trying to
play games,
play around. This is what I want.
For me, this is it.
Yeah.
When did you know you?
He's like, so I want you to be my girlfriend.
Ooh, guys,
and,
that we don't assume relationships in 2023.
No. They have to ask you.
A dude has to say.
So he straight up asked.
That's nice.
And he told me what his plans were for the relationship and what he wanted and whatever. And he also said, take your time with the decision, at your pace, no pressure. I am here.
That's nice.
I
stand you and I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So when did you know?
Take your time.
When did you know that this was it?
The decision. So there were a lot of things in those first couple of dates. For me, it was the intentionality from day one.
Yeah.
From day one.
He came ready.
He's been very intentional.
Yeah.
But then there's also the fact that he's like a reincarnation of my dad. It is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah.
Like he can cook and that's something.
No, just there was always an energy. People who knew me when my dad was around, or people who knew my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was like princess treatment was the order of the day.
Yeah.
If you know my mom, we call her Princess Mother. My mother is a princess. She was a princess all the years that my dad, and so he has that same energy. He treats you a certain way.
It brings a softness out of you.
And the fact that that attention is not just to me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will pretend.
Yeah.
But he treats people a certain way. He's very kind. He's very, gentle. He
Yeah.
cares about people.
Yeah.
You know, even people who work for him.
Yeah.
People who he's just a kind, compassionate man.
Human being. That's
he's
nice.
very. In Uganda they call it mukaka.
Muntumula.
Yeah. I can be a firecracker. I can be a firecracker. So he's like my still, my water.
Nice.
Like I can go on and on and
That's
on.
Really
but yeah.
nice. That's really
and
nice.
it was also a plus because the first time I was getting married, it was all about what I thought and what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, it's very important to me what other people think. The people that I know have my best interests at heart.
Yeah.
The people that I know, my mom, for example, what they think.
Yeah.
And there's not a single person that has met him
Who doesn't like
yeah,
him? It's
that
very,
doesn't love
very
him.
important.
Yes,
Yeah,
everybody, they're just like, oh my gosh, what a wonderful man. Oh my gosh,
so
what a,
sweet.
and none of it comes from a point of pretense. So yeah.
That's really nice. That's very nice. And I
So
think,
that's the short.
Yeah, and I think that for both of our stories, it speaks to the fact that it's very important to know what you want, but also to sometimes do different.
Yeah.
Sometimes do different because both of us, I think, were scared. I was like, wow, this is... There's even no space for drama. You talk adngabakulu. Like, country
Yeah.
You know, like...
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the long and short of how we met our bulls. We hope you liked our Christmas gift.
Exactly. And I hope that if you're single and you're feeling pressured, please know that there is hope.
Yeah.
Both of us, this time last year, honestly, I was single like a Pringle.
Yeah.
I didn't even think at all that I would have a ring on my fingers. Yeah. But it's just been like so fast, so amazing, and it's very possible. Yeah. So don't give up.
We found love in a hopeless place.
I know.
Love in all sorts of places, supermarket, wherever, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to end it here, friends. Again, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and we hope that your Christmas gift to us is a like, a share, a follow. And comments telling us what you're doing for Christmas.
Yeah, and also share with us your love story if you're partnered.
Yes,
how did you guys meet? Just to speak hope into those people, who are waiting and looking for someone. So
yeah, so let's encourage in a comment section.
And tamboza video.
See you next week.
Bye.